Welcome to episode 5 of MidiTV. Today we have 3 very different artists for you. We have Kingfisher, the new Exeter University based band with their shoegazing heavy influences. We have Kaya Street, multi-instrumentalist, who has been working with a variety of different acts globally and remotely over the last few months. And then we have Psychedelephant with their funk soul fusion sound and their hard-hitting lyrics that touch on environmental activism. 3 brilliant bands for you today. So, let's get started.
We're Kingfisher and this song's called Tiptoe.
Welcome Patrick from Kingfisher to MidiTV. So Kingfisher are Patrick or Paddy, Harry, Roddy, Chris and Joe, and you guys are all from Exeter University. It's fair to say you're a fairly new band on the scene starting out early 2020. Tell us how you guys formed.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, we formed sort of January 2020 following I'd been doing stuff, sort of Kingfisher was the alias for the solo project that I was working on, and I kind of written an EP of four songs or whatever, and just wanted to give them an outing in a live setting, so did a little post on this campus bands university Facebook forum. Next thing you know, loads of people have come back to me. I had to do like a sort of interview process and on Facebook Messenger to kind of whittle it down, and in the end pick the four blokes that could have sort of looked the most normal and liked the music we liked. So yeah, it went from there.
That's a compliment to them.
Yeah.
So we know Tom York in the past has been associated to Exeter University, and let's hope Kingfisher get as big as that, and that can be Exeter's kind of claim to fame. So you guys are all studying at the university. Do you live together? Yeah, we do. We live together in Exeter in a house. Yeah, it's really fortunate given the whole lockdown shenanigans, kind of January through March. We played sort of 10-15 gigs in 6 weeks or something, and then kind of coming away from that meant and we could just play together, jam together, write together, and we've got a massive catalogue of new songs in this kind of new sound that we've embarked on, so it's really exciting. Yeah. And describe that sound for us.
Yeah, so sort of when we started out it was more standard boilerplate indie rock and roll. We've got 2 guitars, a bassist, a keys player and Roddy on the drums, and yeah, then we kind of went away for lockdown. We did a collaboration with Theo Zealous, who's a emo rapper, and kind of found this, if we just drench everything in reverb and give everything so much more space, it kind of, we liked it, and I started listening to loads more shoegaze music, and the others, we all started listening to like post-punk and post-rock and the British stuff that's going on at the moment. Yeah, and we just sort of found this, we started buying loads of pedals and kind of making as much sound as we could, and we like it, yeah.
Let's hope your neighbours like that as well, living together. So you've educated me a bit with shoegazing as a technique, which is essentially loads of pedals, loads of heavy guitar distortion, and that's the sound, that's the direction you guys are going in. Looking back at old reviews from magazines like Indie Central or online reviews like Indie Central, you guys have been likened to bands like Blur, which is amazing. It can never be a bad thing, but you're going in that different direction. You've mentioned a few other people that you're inspired by. So back in 2020, you were supporting bands like King Nun at the Cavern. Yeah. You've played at the Phoenix, Artigianos. You've played all over, really. Where can we see you next?
Next up, sort of big gig we've got planned is at Altitude Festival in end of July, and then
Brilliant.
But in the meantime we should have stuff in Exeter. We've just been a bit cautious with booking stuff. It's just you know the sort of the drill at the moment is kind of for socially distance and whatnot, but yeah, I think we should be playing a couple sets on the campus at some point, and but yeah, Altitude Festival is our festival debut in July, so we're really looking forward to that.
One to look forward to. And I'm guessing the uni campus, that would be the Lemon Grove?
Yeah, likely, but we're unsure at the moment whether it's going to be just a thing in the forum or just on campus, but we'll keep you posted.
Absolutely, and you'll be putting that on your page, I guess. So you guys do have a couple of EPs, Times Beach and Wasteland, but like you've mentioned, your sound has changed. I think that's a really good thing, though, that in a short space of time you've developed your sound completely, and that's the direction you're going in. When are you guys recording some more music?
Hopefully over summer we're going to get in the studio with someone we've been talking to, release some singles, and then you can just hear the new direction we're going in, like the songs you've heard today, I guess.
Perfect. And will that be available on vinyl?
Yeah, we're looking, well, at the moment we're just releasing on streaming services, but we'd love to do a vinyl release or a CD release at some point. And
is there a website?
Just follow our socials at the moment, Kingfisher with a space in between, and you'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. What?
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today, Paddy.
Thank you very much.
Hi, it's Kaya Street here. During 2020, I recorded my debut EP, Dark Light 2020. It's out on the 11th of June. It features musicians recording remotely across the world, and as a result got no live act. But we've made a series of music videos exclusively for MidiTV, the first of which is called Lockdown, featuring our singer Chiremi recording from Nigeria. I hope you enjoy.
The government is once again instructing you to stay at home.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus. Today I am officially declaring a national emergency. Transmission. Biggest quarantine in history. Deaths around 912%. No death. The will be made. If they fail to prepare, beautiful day.
Welcome Kaya to MidiTV. Kaya from Kaya Street, you are a multi-instrumentalist producer. Am I right in thinking that during 2020 you've relocated to our beautiful Devon?
Yes, come back. I'm a Devonshire, born and bred. So
are you?
Yeah, originally from here. So I've come home, for a bit. Probably like a lot of people, sort of weird times with different people. But yeah, I relocated. It was up in Bristol before. I still got kind of links to there. But yeah, at the moment, back in Exeter, it's nice to be back amongst
We always think the grass is going to be greener, but it literally isn't. Come back to Devon. So more importantly, you have a new EP, Dark Light, which is coming out soon, and that's been written and is sort of based around yours and globally people's experiences of lockdown and COVID and beyond, really. There's lots of socially conscious themes around this album, isn't there, or this EP? So please tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I've always really had like an angle to write, sort of socially conscious, political kind of music. And I had this concept around kind of dark light going around for quite a long time, basically based upon kind of like, all this light and this positivity around like new governments, new technology and stuff, and promoting all that, the goodness of it, but not seeing the other side of it, which is like the kind of corruption, the manipulation that can be used in, in those circumstances as well. So it's kind of like putting a spin on that, really, the dark light for that reason. And then 2020, just a crazy year. Obviously, no one saw it kind of coming. So just tagging those two things together, really, and just trying to make it a really literal, social commentary kind of EP, really. So picking out things that were, ongoing at the time, and that's represented in the title of the songs.
And it's really poignant and will connect with so many people, won't it? Because we've all gone through globally this shared experience on very different levels, and lots of other things have happened globally as well. But I think as an artist, so many people have come out of 2020 because of that heightened emotion that we've experienced, with some incredible new artwork to share, including yourself. So you've actually been working remotely with lots of different global artists, and I think we might have one of the people that you've worked with potentially joining us today. And this is a first for MidiTV. We have our first phone interview.
So we're going to see if we can get Cheremi up here.
She's not going to answer.
So this is the vocalist all the way from Nigeria. Hello. Okay. How you doing? So I'm going to put you on to Abbe, who's interviewing us all the way in the UK. So.
Hello!
Hello.
Hi, Cheremi. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
So,
How you
Cheremi,
doing?
I'm doing very good, thank you. But this is very exciting to have you here. Cheremi, we wanted to hear
Thank
about your involvement on Kaya Street's new EP. So, how were you involved?
Okay, I recorded some of the lead vocals and the BGBs, which are the harmony part.
Oh, that's amazing. And how did you guys meet, Kaya?
So, basically all this, the kind of lockdown existence, the fact that you can't get together, and the fact that writing, quite, my thing is internationalism, against rising kind of, nationalism all over the world.
Yeah.
So, thought to bring those two things together and just found these musicians remotely and managed to find Cheremi, this amazing vocalist, has such a range. You have to check out her music. At I am Cheremi, little plug there for her.
Brilliant.
But just on the internet,
Thank you so much.
and I found, so I found Cheremi there. I got working with her, on a couple of different tracks. In the end, I think we ended up doing 5 or 6 tracks, some of which haven't made it on the EP, but are kind of there. So I nominate her the vocalist of Kaya Street, but just living in Nigeria. So.
And just shows as well so many other artists that may be watching this episode today how far you can take remote working, that you can work with people not just down the road or people you've already got that link to, but Cheremi's in Nigeria and you guys have linked up to create this EP. That's just fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Cheremi.
Thank you very much.
Just a little bit more
Nice one,
talking.
Cheremi. Bye.
Bye, Cheremi. Yeah, that was great.
Perfect.
The first for us here.
Yeah.
So we have Cheremi's vocals on a few of the different tracks, and there's a 4-track EP that the whole EP is coming out on June the 11th.
Yeah, decided to make it 3 tracks in the end to save one for a bit later on, but yeah.
And the first track, which is called Fire in the Street, and we've already had some little snippets of videos on your page, is out on May the 21st.
May the 21st, yeah.
Perfect, so it's good to plug these dates. Now, the debut album is going to be out next year in 2022, and you have a live show planned as well. that's next year. Where can we see you this year?
So this year is mainly about completing the album, you know, doing this kind of initial launch. So I had a kind of career, and Kaya Street's the name I've been playing under for a while, but it had completely different music to start with. It was a 10-piece brass section, and then it's just me, but with all these remote musicians around the world. So the story, very briefly, I found all these musicians, got recording with them, but really it was a mix of all different kind of styles. And then I stumbled on a page for a really famous producer called Dubmatix, reggae producer, and I was just, I wonder if he'd actually respond, you know, to a kind of query of whether he could mix and master. So I just messaged him, and he got back in touch. I thought, wow, I've got to get in touch, you know, I love your stuff. I don't suppose you can mix and master. And I was thinking like, you know, who are you know, it's going to come back. But in the end, he was like, yeah, okay, you know, let's do it. And not only that, but took on the song consultation as well, process as well. So I said, I've got all, you know, these 10 tracks, explain the process with all these people around the world. And he kind of gave them a listen, and it was really nice because he kind of said, look, you know, not a lot of people know this about me. I'm a reggae producer, but I play funk and all this other stuff. I'm like, you know, quite similar to you, but you need to find what it is you want to do. So he kind of coached me into going for the reggae kind of angle in the music. So
brilliant the last year for you then, working with different people, sort of honing your sound, going down different avenues. And we're going to see all of that, aren't we? The culmination of your hard work in this first EP. Which we're so excited to hear. So Kaya, thank you so much for joining us here today, and for bringing Cheremi into MidiTV as well. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, we're Psychedelephant, and this is our song, Have You Ever?
Questioning what you thought you knew. The bridge is burned, but the fire purifies all we leave behind. In perspective, she plays on sincere staff strings. Her stories entwined in the song she sings. Change is the only constant thing, but we're flying high on little wings. Have you ever found a place when a moment simply takes your breath away? Wrap it up and keep it safe. Save it for a rainy day. You were blessed with a life that we're savoring, counting your existence in. And the wind it blows while we're just skipping stones. Down the road we're traveling, such a delicate flower, she's ready to bloom. Her colors will shine in the darkest gloom. All she needs is a bit of room, earth and water, sun and moon, yeah. Have you ever found that place where the moment simply takes your breath away? Wrap it up and keep it safe. Save it for a rainy day. Have you ever found the place where the moment simply takes your breath away? Wrap it up and keep it safe. Save it for a rainy day. Yeah. And we're spreading our roots out as we grow. Didn't you know? Well, the odds might be stacked and we might not win, but we all need somewhere to begin. And the movement grows with the wisdom as it flows. All the answers lie within. takes your breath away. Wrap it up and keep it safe. Save it for a rainy day. Have you ever found that place where the moment simply takes your breath away? Wrap it up and keep it safe. Save it for a rainy day. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome, Grace, from Psychedelephant to MidiTV.
Thank you.
You guys have been making quite a stir in music now for about 2.5 years.
Yes.
But you started out as something different, didn't you?
Yeah, my partner Jake and I formed the band together, and when we first became a couple, we were both in other bands. So I was singing with a sort of Afrobeat funk fusion band called Papa Legal, and Jake was in a sort of a dub fusion band called Zuri Aura. And so after being together for a while, those bands ended, sadly, and so we ended up gigging as a duo a lot. Well, first we were like, is this going to work? I don't know, it could go one way or the other. But yeah, we did that for a bit, and then through that and doing various little tours and projects, we slowly formed the lineup for Psychedelephant, and now we are here.
Awesome. And so it's heavy funk, soul, and hard-hitting lyrics would be a good way to describe the sound that you guys make.
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a few influences in there, so it's hard to pin it down, but I'd say...
Which is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be so widely appealing. So what have you guys been up to most recently?
Well, obviously, it's been a really strange time with COVID and everything. Jake's been completing a degree at the moment, which is really exciting for him and taking advantage of that time. I'm an activist, so I've been supporting the anti-HS2 camps and homeschooling my son. And then now we're getting back into normal, and we've just written a new tune. We've got some various new ones coming, which is great, but we're really preparing for the release of our EP, which is coming up soon. So
exciting stuff. And you're familiar with this space as well. We're here in Tazma Studios.
Yeah.
Because part of your music video for Dirty Tactics was filmed in this space. Tell us about this track, because I know that there is a particularly strong message with links to things you've already mentioned, and it's dedicated, isn't it, to a particular cause. So please tell us more about that.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Dirty Tactics was written after I got arrested resisting the HS2 development up in Uxbridge in Buckinghamshire. And there's various camps there. If you don't know about the HS2 project, it's spanning 180 miles from London to Birmingham, and it's pretty much pillaging most of our ancient woodlands and polluting a lot of the water sources between point A and point B, regardless of the fact that there's already 2 train lines that run that way. Yeah. So it's a really disgusting vanity project that's totally unnecessary. And seeing as we're in the midst of a climate and ecological emergency, seems really crazy to be destroying all of that natural habitat. So I was arrested by a lake and a woodland there, which is part of the chalk aquifer. It's a natural chalk deposit in the Chilterns that filters the water system there, and it produces 22% of London's drinking water, and they've drilled straight through it and contaminated all of it. So that just gives you an idea of what we're kind of dealing with. And I wrote Dirty Tactics about that, and yeah, the chorus is, you know, we offer this truth as medicine because your dirty tactics are faltering, and it's really talking about that current struggle, but also just acknowledging the land rights issue that we're having all over the world, really, with Indigenous cultures and you know, and protected natural sites, you know. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's amazing, Grace, that you're using your music to educate and inform people, and in a completely non-aggressive way. I think people could sadly sometimes think of activism as being violent or being aggressive, and it's certainly not the case. That you're doing this through music in a really peaceful and informative way, and reaching out to your network and your fan base as well to spread that word and spread that message amongst your fan base and beyond. And you know, before this interview began, we had some amazing stories about your time as an activist.
Yeah.
I know that you posted something on your page back in 2020 that said, let's combine our love and our intentions. And it went on so much more than that, but just that tiny bit there, combining love and intentions, I think is just a brilliant message that certainly is carried through in Psychedelephant's music.
Thank you.
You also talked a little bit about another track that's going to be on your new EP called Love and Rage. So please tell us about that.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's quite a collection of stories on this little EP, and it's a reflection of my life and experiences in that as an activist over the last couple of years. Love and Rage was written after we did one of the first big Extinction Rebellion actions in London, and we blocked a number of large sites, one of which was Waterloo Bridge. And yes, I ended up super gluing myself to the bottom of the lorry that was blocking the road there for 3.5 days. It sounds a bit mad when you hear it coming out, isn't it? You know, but
no, it's brilliant.
It was worth it. I'm a mummy, you know, and I think, you know, just touching on what you said a minute ago, I think you may not be aware there's this thing called the overtone window, which kind of describes society's consciousness, and anything that comes outside of that generally tends to provoke quite a reaction, and activism is certainly one of those things. And when we did that action in London, it pretty much blew the overtone window open. It was the first time anyone had done anything that large before, and it certainly shifted the perspective in the press and for the public as well, and I think made activism suddenly a lot more approachable for people. And it was quite shocking for people to realise that it was mothers and grandmothers and reverends and children that were getting involved, and it's, you know, it's the voice of a generation speaking out and asking for change. So yeah, I was really honoured to be part of that action, and after that experience I wrote Love and Rage with Jake, and but he writes all the music parts and then I do the squiggly wigglies over the top. And yeah, and it's about that. It's my sort of heart song really as a mummy, and why we're doing it, and it actually is it's kind of like a message in a bottle to the future, actually, to say when it'll, you know, if as things are, you know, we know that we're heading for some very serious times, and for my son and children of that generation, you know, I just wanted them to know that there were those of us that did all we could.
And you're going to be using a lot of the footage that you filmed of that time to make a video for Love and Rage.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up, and that's going to feature a lot of the live streams that I've done. And then there's another project that's been born out of that called This Mother's Wish, which is started off as portraits I was collecting for the music video, but it's now actually a portrait exhibition. I'm collecting 1 million mothers worldwide, holding the sign that says This Mother's Wish, and when we've got 1 million, then we'll start the exhibition, and there'll be a documentary as well, and that will be submitted to the International High Court as a photographic protest petition to ask for international ecocide law, because we have genocide law, but we don't at the moment have any international legislation to protect the welfare of our environment and our children's future. So we kind of need that. It seemed like the most obvious wish to go for. So that little song and that experience has now given birth to a whole other project that's running alongside it.
It's amazing. It's snowballing.
Yes, it's
you
just
are
sprouted.
certainly busy. So you guys, this EP is out on June the 11th. You clearly have plenty of material to take on the road. You've got some festival announcements as well, which can all be found on your social media. Yeah. And you have a gig coming up on August the 29th at the Loft Sessions, is that correct?
That's right, yeah. We're going to be with Malavita and Matthew Mole and Rosso, I think, are the other acts that are going to be performing. Really delighted to be there, and it's going to be filmed, and just really looking forward to playing music again, basically, and enjoying just enjoying the vibes. It's going to be great.
One last thing before we finish. You guys have a beautiful logo designed by Ayana Tree Artworks that would look incredible on merch. Please tell me there is merch to buy, and where can we buy it?
Yes, we've got some lovely t-shirts. Just drop us a line at the band page and I can pop one in the post for you, no problem. We're going to have some other things coming out, obviously CDs and some stickers and stuff like that as well. But yes, it is. Yeah, Malachi did a great job on that logo, so keep it in the family.
So, Psychedelephant have their new album out, new EP, on June the 11th. So keep your eyes open for that one. Thank you so much for joining us today, Grace, on MidiTV. So here we are at the Pac-Man machine, ready for the Pac-Man challenge. We have our 3 acts going head-to-head today for that final performance at the end of today's show. We have Paddy from Kingfisher. We should mention that we have Jake from Psychedelephant who's going to be playing, although Grace is a really powerful activist. Jake insisted that he have the Pac-Man slot, so we're expecting great things there. And then we also have Kaya from Kaya Street, so let's see how they get on.
Right, let's go.
Cool, right.
Okay, ready to go.
Ooh.
And he's off. So we should add that Paddy actually has his last exam this afternoon, so he's just getting ready for the exam by playing some Pac-Man. That's what most students tend to do. Getting those hands ready for all that typing. So all guests have a little practice run, and Jake was hitting some major high notes a minute ago. When things were going wrong, we had like Justin from the Darkness style notes being sung here.
Oh my God, I'm doing really well. No, I'm not.
I don't know if you can see on the camera, but Kaya's got so much jewellery on this one hand. I think it might be adding a bit of weight to...
I think it's...
it's helping you to manoeuvre the... Do you play this often, Paddy?
I played on my iPod when I was like a small fry, but oh my word, this is so stressful.
Oh, no.
I think this is my best run. Oh no, I'm still going.
You're moving the machine. There's such passion.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
I feel like it's a really cruel section of the show because the guests come on and sing and they have their interview and there's just general stress around this bit.
This is, all right, go one more.
Come on, right, oh crud.
This is it. It's okay.
I'm done.
Generally in life or just with the game?
Both.
Okay.
I turned at the last minute.
This is where you completely redeem yourself.
Or just go straight at that. Come on. What a joke. All right, what was that? Is that a good score?
This is you.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's all right.
That's good.
I've done better.
That's very, very good. You've done very good.
So what was the points?
That will all be revealed at the end. How did it feel though?
Intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Did I win?
Well, Paddy definitely had an air of nerves around him. He's off to do his final exam today at Exeter University. Kaya was weighted down by a lot of jewellery on his digits. And then we had Jake's just general height that could have maybe been a bit of a hindrance to playing this. So let's see how they get on at the end. A huge thank you to our 3 acts today. We've had Kingfisher, Kaya Street and Psychedelephant. Please remember to go online and give these 3 acts your support, a thumbs up on their social media. Remember to put June the 11th in your diaries because 2 of our acts today, Psychedelephant and Kaya Street, have some new music coming your way on June the 11th. Also, remember to give MidiTV a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and keep an eye on our social media platforms because we have various different competitions coming up. So, there's only one more thing left to do, and that's to announce the winner of today's Pac-Man challenge. Now, it turns out that Paddy from Kingfisher is pretty good on the Pac-Man. So Kingfisher are going to be ending today's show with another track for you guys. And we'll see you again soon.
We're Kingfisher and this is called One. never